Hey guys! Welcome to another video. This is the 5th video in my Python tutorial, and today we're going to be analyzing Python variables. To perform tasks, we need to store data in our computer's memory, data that our program needs in order to function. As we've said previously, we can think of variables as little boxes where we store data. Those boxes take the name we give them and a type that allows them to store a given data type. So to define a variable in Python, we just state the name we want for it and equal it to the value we want it to have. For example, Python is a weakly typed or dynamically typed language. Therefore, it can assign the correct data type to the variables we create based on the initialization value we give them. So it's not necessary for us to specify what data type we want each variable to have, like we would in other languages like C or C++. Therefore, Python can know our value 10 is an integer because it's a number that doesn't carry a decimal expression or is not enclosed by any quotation marks. So our variable age is automatically of the integer type, so it can store the value in the computer's memory. So variable age stores the value 10, and we can see this with a print function. If we then modify the variable's value and run a print function, we'll see that the value changes. When we define variables, it's important to use clear names so we can understand what the variable does and why it's there. This helps other programmers tremendously to read the code and will help ourselves while coding. One of the reasons why Python is appreciated is its simplicity. This is evidenced, for example, by not having to define our variable types when we need to use them. But, while not common, there are situations where it could be useful to do it. For example, if we want to define a variable but not initialize any value for it at all. For that, we can declare variables and specify their data type. We can also initialize a group of variables together in the same line, like this. Now I'm going to point out some considerations about choosing variable names, since these should follow some basic rules. They have to start with a letter, either lowercase or uppercase, not an underscore and not a number, because if they do, we'll get an error message. For example, var1 is valid as a name, but 1var isn't. The rest of the characters, though, can be letters, numbers, or underscores. Spaces and dashes aren't allowed for variable names. Python can tell lowercase from uppercase, so these 3 versions of var all would represent different variables. And there are keywords in Python that can't be used as variable names because Python uses them for other things. For example, a variable can't be called print. It's convenient mainly for big projects to define how variables are to be named, so that you can reach agreements, such as having uppercase names represent constants. There are also 3 conventions that are most popular in naming variables with more than one word. These are Camelcase, Pascalcase, and underscores. Camelcase dictates that all words that make up your variable name should start with an uppercase, except the first one. For example, some variable, like this. Pascalcase is similar and dictates every word should start with uppercase, no exceptions. And finally, the underscores convention dictates words should be separated by underscores and start with lowercase. For example, some underscore variable. So this was our introduction to Python variables. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and code up!